'Twas the night of Halloween, when all through the city the goblins were stirring, even chicks with bare titties. The hauntings were littered across lawns with care, in hopes that snot-nosed kids would be given a scare. The children were tricking and treating in masks, and fathers were sipping and supping from flasks. And mamas were telling their children, be careful, as the older kids managed to grab another handful. When out from the darkness there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my perch to see what was the matter. Away from the teepee tree I flew like a flash, tore into the street and threw away my stash. The moon in the fog of the mildewy sky was blood-red and sagging like my half-joint smoked eye, when to what my wandering mind did appear but a giant monster of Frankenstein's design near, and beside him a vampire gangly and taut, yet somewhat alluring, and dare say he's hot. More rapid than eagles the vampires came, and he whistled and shouted and called me by name. Now Evan, dear child, I do want your blood, but very not, son, you'll live undead in the mud. Each night when you shall emerge from your coffin, you too will be the one eternally laughing. As leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to my neck the vampire flew, and with the creaking of joints, Frankenstein's monster did too. And then with the pain I heard Dracula shout, "This one is no good, he's been smoking that loud." As I drew in my head and was turning around, away from my neck did Dracula bound. He was dressed to the nines from his head to his foot, while Frankenstein's monster was covered in soot. The beast gaped his maw at me only to say, "Stay." His eyes, how they drooped, his expression scary. His cheeks were like leather, his scar-tissue cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the skin on his neck was as white as snow. The stump of a bolt he held straight through his neck, and to be honest he spoke nothing but dreck. He had broad shoulders and a distended belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was towering and fierce, a right frightful ghoul, and I laughed when I saw him like some damned old fool. A droop of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me a feeling of nothing but dread. He spoke not a word, but mumbled in sorts, and believe it or not, he was wearing jorts. And laying a rotting finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, off sauntering he goes. He lurched to the woods, to his companion he grumbled, and off he went Dracula with a shove and a stumble. But I heard the old vampire exclaim once out of sight, "I am going to enthrall all of you fools this Halloween night."
Good job.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween. Is Halloween Monday?
Today, you mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the day that this comes out, which is Monday.
Yep. Is Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yep.
Welcome to Left Undead. Yeah, where you come for all of your favorite spooktacular stories and Evan's poetry, his playful retellings of holiday classics.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, what's up?
What's going on, bro?
I don't know, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. I just am here and. We just sort of talked before the show started about what we've got prepared.
Which is little to nothing.
You just heard, apparently you just heard basically all of it.
I spent about 40 minutes on that last night, so
yeah,
that's more than I spent on the rest of this episode, so.
Yep. Yeah, Evan Evan texted me the other day, like 2 days ago or a day ago, and was like, "Hey, so for the episode, let's just do a Halloween one where we both pick some spooky stories."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, sure." And then so later that day, I was like, "Hey, like, how do you want to like present our spooky stories? Do you want to do like a contest?" Or everybody's like, "Oh, I honestly don't even have any spooky stories." And I was like, "Well."
I didn't say no. I didn't say that. I said I'm just like gonna kind of pick two things really quickly because yesterday when I had the idea was my birthday and I wasn't gonna spend time on my birthday really more than I did.
Wait, what day? What's today? Oh, holy fuck! Happy birthday, man!
Thank you.
Oh, I'm a bad friend.
So then I just had work today and I have basically like I don't know like an hour and a half after work to throw shit together for this. So I didn't really want like a like competition, like you can just win. You had more time. You had today off. Well,
but then you said you didn't want to do that, so I just didn't.
Yeah.
So I have nothing. I have
without the promise of competition.
No, not even that. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood. But so I didn't. I don't know. I could have written a whole episode. I didn't. So we're just gonna hang out and talk to you guys about whatever.
Tell some spooky stories.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. If we get in the spooking mood, maybe it'll go in that direction.
Well, I have a couple already, but yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few things that I definitely want to talk about with you. I just didn't write anything. But first of all, I think we have to address the elephant in the room, which is that it was your birthday yesterday, and I forgot to say happy birthday to you, and just realized on air.
I have already marked it in my book of incursions.
Yeah, so. Man. No, I'm sorry. And it's, what's fucked up is that Evan's birthday is one of the few friends' birthdays.
You tell me multiple times a year how my birthday is the only one of your friends that you know.
Well, so I keep them all marked down, and I was at work, so I just must have missed I have a reminder set for everybody's birthday. But generally speaking, yeah, Evan's is the only birthday that I actually remember because for a long time it was the password to his Xbox, and I was crashing on my couch in his house for a while, which then became his couch. And so I was using that Xbox a lot, and so I actually know Evan's birthday, and so that's an even more.
You tell me this multiple times a year.
I know.
And then yesterday comes and goes.
I know. It's a more egregious.
That's all right. That's right, dude. I literally forgot it was my birthday until I got to work yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And, I have, like, a calendar with some, like, tasks and whatnot. And I crossed out the 25, and I look, I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yep.
There it is. I felt the same way this year. I, almost didn't even realize my birthday had come and gone. It was, mine's right before, a major holiday. So, there's always some sort of something going on, which is nice, and yours is actually pretty close to a major holiday as well. So there's always always fun things to do.
Yep.
We're of course talking about Samhain.
Yeah. So ooh, pronounced correctly as well.
Yeah, unless I'm talking about the Glenn Danzig band, because I think they call that Sam Hain.
I do believe they call it Sam Hain. Glenn Danzig's not smart enough to.
Anytime I think of Glenn Danzig, there's two things that I think of. Well, he is the most.
Him getting fucking clocked.
Well, there's the video of him, and I'll put the audio in here, where he's arguing with that massive dude in some hardcore band. Fuck you, motherfucker!
And he just gets
just
smoked out.
Fucking sent to another dimension by this big fucking dude. And Glenn Danzig's 5'5". And he used to be pretty built.
He's got arms, but he's 5'5".
He's a little dude, and this was not prime Danzig. This was 50-year-old Danzig. He just gets his fucking face.
Yeah, this was old. This was pretty recent when it was added to YouTube.
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago, I would say, sometime in the last 10 years. But then also the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past, where the house is haunted by a robot elf from the future, and he starts making elven blood come from all the sprinklers and stuff, and so then Danzig comes and buys the house because he's stoked about the blood. And he's like, I didn't spend $500,000 fucking dollars on this fucking house. So I bought this house because there's fucking blood coming out of the fucking walls. You better make that fucking sprinkler bleed. It's something like that. I haven't seen it in a long time. But and the robot is trying to leave the house, and he's talking to Master Shake. And he's like, I have to get away from that man. He is so loud. He is so scary, and he never wears a shirt.
Yeah.
That's my Glenn Danzig memory.
Yeah. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Ugh. So, so what did you do? Anything fun?
I mean, I just worked, and came home, and actually, I tell you that off air. Don't need to tell you on it, but no, it was it was fine. And then I did fall asleep on my couch for like an hour and a half, and then woke up and wrote this stupid little thing. Then went back to bed. So it was a very 33-year-old birthday.
Yeah, dog.
I didn't realize it was my birthday.
Right.
And then,
there was just like no fanfare. Your good friends didn't text you, and like most of your friends probably did. Yeah, am I the only one who didn't?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, like you and our mutual friend also didn't, or like any of us, any of those guys. But I had a bunch of other ones do it.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad that I was the outlier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we've never been like, our little friend group has never been like big on birthdays. Yeah. So it's not like it would have ever been anything more than like hey man, happy birthday. Like, glad you're alive. You're my friend.
The only one of our friends that that probably does get the happy birthday text from us every year is because his wife texts all of us to tell us. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I do care about you, and I'm glad you're still alive.
Thank you.
And I will, when I see you tomorrow, I will buy you a beer.
Cool.
So what else? What's the fucking situation? What do we got going on? We're just kind of hanging today, folks.
Just giving you guys a few spooky and not so spooky stories while you listen to this, and while you're working on Monday when it's Halloween, get ready to probably party the weekend before. I know I have a Christmas. I have a Halloween party to go to this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
I have no idea what my costume is going to be. Last year, I went as Jean-Luc Picard and shaved the top of my head. That was very funny.
Yeah.
Not sure what I'm going to do this year.
I may have peripherally been invited to a Halloween party. I had a couple people. Well, like I know that multiple people were like, "Oh, like I'm having a party. Like you can come. You should come."
Yeah.
But I have not for 1 second seriously considered attending any of them.
Okay.
And so it like literally has not even like been a thing that I've thought that I would do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's like not even any semblance of
An
it.
An invitation was given.
Like, but yeah, but even then it wasn't
necessarily received though.
Right, but it also was. It was nobody like handed me an invitation to like their bash. It was just sort of like, oh yeah, you want to come to this Halloween party? I know. Well, that I would probably go to though if it was like some big grand like the costumed ball.
At the Gatsby's.
At the Knights of Columbus.
Oh my God. Columbus.
Yeah, that would be...
At the Legion Hall.
Something like that I would consider doing. I honestly don't think I've dressed up for Halloween in like... probably like 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while. It's just never... You know what? Halloween's cool, and like I'm all for it, but I'm not like a Halloween guy.
Yeah, I remember probably the most effort I ever put into a costume was... maybe in like 2017, I think it was 2017, when I went as a Henry Spencer from Eraserhead.
And is that the main character?
Yeah, and I spent like an hour getting my hair to stand up straight.
Yeah. Like
his. And the party was at AS220 in Providence with Elder was playing. And we went there, and then, so I have so much product in my hair getting it to like stand up straight. And it took me so long to get that shit out the next day while I was showering, just like piles and piles of fucking shit coming out of it. Mm. But that was good. Yeah, I went pretty hard in the paint that time.
Yeah, Eraserhead. That's I've heard of that movie.
It's my favorite.
That's your favorite movie. I know that. And I've seen scenes from it where there's a little lady in the radiator.
Yeah, with the fucked up cheeks.
I don't even remember. I just know there's a little. She's like, is she singing?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of
everything is fine. You'll get yours and I'll get mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now he just reads the weather.
Yeah.
You know?
Today is Thursday, October 27th. I don't know what is said to be. That's how he begins all of them.
Yeah.
I heard they sleeping on B30. you try to rob, I bet I drink you up. 375 guy, we lock the shot up, we gon' tape you up. I'm accurate with the chopper, I'm active up in the streets. You acting like you want problems, show no action when it beat. Put hundreds up in them cars, no talking, don't do no arguing. I'm thugging in my apartment, you pull up, we get it poppin'. Make lil' Hank come out the garbage. I'm big 39 talking about rocks. BGE check out my pocket, finna take a trip to Waffle. A boss with it, I got 100 niggas thugging at the loft with me. I'm out in Cali, me and Bad playing golf with it. Bad bitches from the hill, treat them like toss bitches. Never speak on what I heard or what I saw, nigga. I just threw about 50,000 in a vault, nigga. Book me now, it cost, nigga. I'm worth something. This bitch bad as hell, but she worth something. I ain't never popped a perk just to go hurt some or murk some. Nigga play with me, I'ma shirt some. Bitch, you fucking with a motherfucking murderer, I'm built like that. Nigga speaking on my nine, you get killed like that. Why you ride with them chopper? Cause I feel like that. Catch you dissing on the guy and get your shit peeled back. Put a hole in it, fit it, turned it to a snapback. Breaking down balls in the city, bitch, I'm bringing trap back. I see you talking in my comments, but I'm not gon' clap back. I could've killed you last week when I caught you at Outback. Quit all that woofing to these hoes for you be going outside.
So do you want to kick us off with some of your stuff?
Sure, yeah. This is the one that's not really like a spooky story. It's definitely something that just happened in the news, but that it's like kind of one of those things that happens and you just feel this overwhelming sense of dread.
Okay.
About the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I am, of course, talking about the Congressional Progressive Caucus, the other CPC, if you will. The Congressional Progressive Caucus's letter to President Biden about, the potential of, nuclear Armageddon and maybe that we should tone down, the war in Ukraine. So the letter, which is, it's very, I'll just read it here, at least some of it. It's very tame. It's definitely pulls a lot of punches, but it was released on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Dear Mr. President, we write with appreciation for your commitment to Ukraine's legitimate struggle against Russia's war of aggression. Your support for the self-defense of an independent, sovereign, and democratic state has been supported by Congress, including through various appropriations of military, economic, and humanitarian aid in furtherance of this cause. Your administration's policy was critical to enable the Ukrainian people, through their courageous fighting and heroic sacrifices, to deal a historic military defeat to Russia, forcing Russia to dramatically scale back the stated goals of the invasion. Crucially, you achieved this while also maintaining that it is imperative to avoid direct military conflict with Russia, which would lead to, quote, World War III, something we must strive to prevent. The risk of nuclear weapons being used has been estimated to be higher now than at any time since the height of the Cold War." And by that, I mean, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Right,
which, coincidentally, this is like the anniversary of this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. I don't know why in my mind.
It's called the October Crisis in Cuba, I do believe. Yeah.
Another famous nuclear crisis, the Hunt for Red October.
Ooh.
Wasn't that was it like a nuclear sub?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm Captain Vladimir Sisko from the Soviet Union. I was born and raised in born and raised in St. Petersburg," which what did they call back then? Leningrad, Stalingrad,
yeah. Leningrad, yeah.
Yeah.
So, given the catastrophic...
Man the torpedo, comrades. It's time to spread some communism. Let's drive the American pig dogs back to the...
With each time you get into it, you're getting like much more like a deeper Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Until you're sounding just like fucking Hagrid or something.
Well, it was Sean Connery.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's got a particular accent. It's a little,
he tried to tone it down. I think he tried to sound more like English.
Yeah, exactly,
later in his career. But if you see the early, like the old James Bond movies, he sounds like he sounds Scottish as fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't sound Scottish. Yeah.
No, he does in the early.
Oh, he does.
Like as he got older, you could tell he was like trying to sound. He had this weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, given the catastrophic possibilities of nuclear escalation and miscalculation, which only increase the longer this war continues, we agree with your goal of avoiding direct military conflict as an overriding national security priority. Given the destruction created by this war for Ukraine and the world, as well as the risk of catastrophic escalation, we also believe it is in the interest of Ukraine, the U.S., and the world to avoid a prolonged conflict. For this reason, we urge you to pair the military and economic support the United States has provided to Ukraine with a proactive diplomatic push, redoubling efforts to seek a realistic framework for a ceasefire. This is consistent with your recognition that, quote, there's going to have to be a negotiated settlement here, and your concern that Vladimir Putin, quote, doesn't have a way out right now, and I'm trying to figure out what we do about that. We are under no illusions regarding the difficulties involved in engaging Russia, given its outrageous and illegal invasion of Ukraine and its decision to make additional illegal annexations of Ukrainian territory. However, if there is a way to end the war while preserving a free and independent Ukraine, it is America's responsibility to pursue every diplomatic avenue, yada yada yada. The invasion has caused incalculable harm for the people of Ukraine, leading to the deaths of countless thousands of civilians, Ukrainian soldiers, and displacement of 13 million people. Yada yada. Russia has control over roughly 20% of Ukraine's territory. This conflict threatens an additional tens of millions more worldwide, as skyrocketing prices in wheat, fertilizer, and fuel spark acute crises in global hunger and poverty. A war that is allowed to grind on for years, potentially escalating in intensity and geographic scope, threatens to displace, kill, and immiserate far more Ukrainians while causing hunger, poverty, and death around the world. Basically, the whole thing is like, yes, while we know that this is, a terrible war that shouldn't have happened, we do recognize that Russia has the capability single-handedly to annihilate the world, and the United States wouldn't let that happen without also taking part, is mainly what this is saying, and that therefore we should stop sending so much weapons, but rather maybe try to find a way that all sides can leave this with some dignity intact, and not lead to Armageddon. So that was the letter. This was released.
Okay.
Basically, by the way, just to clear things up, so about 90% of the world's nuclear arsenal is owned by Russia and the U.S. Russia actually has about 10% more. So Russia has just under 6,000, while America has about 5,400.
Is that 5,400 nuclear warheads?
Weapons.
Okay,
Nukes.
so it's not like a tonnage or a whatever.
That is just fucking nukes.
Individual nukes.
Fucking, like...
Have you ever fucked around with one of those nuke maps online?
What
So, like, there is this interactive nuke map that you can use that you can input all these different factors, like wind speed.
Oh, yeah.
What type of, whether it's like an air detonation or a ground detonation, the tonnage, the payload, whatever. And then just pick like a part of the planet for the nuke to get dropped in, and then depending on weather patterns, it'll proximity to the ocean, whatever, it'll tell you like how far and how deadly the fallout will extend. And so I was testing, because obviously like Boston's not going to get nuked, right? Like it probably won't, unless at a certain point.
Well, no, if it gets to like a nuclear exchange, it definitely will.
Right, because it's just on the eastern seaboard.
I mean, it's a heavy population center with like a lot of
universities,
like, concentration of research.
Yeah,
especially like pharmaceutical research and that kind of thing.
Maybe I don't know. My thought was
it would 100% get nuked.
New York definitely would, though.
New York would. I mean, it would be like DC, then New York. I mean, the Boston area would be one of the first spots nuked.
You think so?
Yeah, you'd get Houston as well. I mean, yeah, dude, it's a huge concentration of people, as well as valuable research institutes, valuable research laboratories, that kind of thing. It'll definitely,
But Fenway Park's here.
Well, I've played Fallout 4. I know what happens to Fenway.
That's true. That game could have been so much better. So if New York gets nuked, we're fine, and we don't get nuked, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Depending on
if it's an above ground detonation, I forget what those are called, but like where it detonates in the air. We will experience.
A lot of nukes are above ground. Yeah, so
the fallout would.
Yeah, the thermonuclear bombs generally detonate above the ground.
It's the ground detonations that actually like aren't that crazy outside of the immediate area of detonation, and the fallout is way less severe. But the air detonations, we would definitely get irradiated, but we wouldn't.
Like a thermonuclear bomb, you detonate those above ground, and it just like the shockwave coming down just obliterates.
Yeah, it just like flattens everything.
All the territory. Yeah.
So so we think that'll happen, or?
Well, I mean, so right now this is the highest possibility since the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis.
Right.
And I know still technically the doomsday clock hasn't moved past 100 seconds to midnight, but, I've seen estimates of people saying that it's probably at this point like 30 seconds. In case people don't know, the doomsday clock was something devised back during the Cold War to estimate the how close America is to nuclear Armageddon. The highest was in the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm not sure how close to midnight it was then, but right now, yeah, the estimates are probably about under a minute.
Wow, whose estimates are those?
Let me see, doomsday clock.
I know that the Doomsday Clock is a plot device in Watchmen, which is fucking sweet. Well. Watchmen's better than...
Oh, yeah, so it's developed by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. It's been maintained since 1947, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The Doomsday Clock.
Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists.
Where are we at right now?
Non-profit.
It is 100 seconds to midnight.
Yeah, but really it hasn't moved there since, I think, the end of the Cold War, so right now it's probably quite a bit closer. Oh, I guess it has moved since the end of the Cold War, yeah.
Has it moved back?
Well, no, once the Cold War ended, it was back to about... it was pretty far back. But, yeah, we're pretty close, anyway.
The farthest from midnight. In 2020, 2018, it was 2 minutes. 2 minutes to midnight. Hell yeah, dude. Fucking Maiden. 2 minutes to midnight. That's what that song is all about, now that I think about it. The hands that threaten doom. Yeah. It's about the Doomsday Clock. Fuck, I never realized that. Okay. 2015, it was 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the best we've done? I'm not going to go crazy here.
Yeah.
Oh, 2012, we were 5 minutes. 6 minutes in 2010. 7 in 2002. 9 in 98. 14 minutes to midnight in 1995. 17 in 91.
Yeah.
Yeah, then back in the 80s, it was getting fucking crazy. 7 minutes to midnight. Fucking...
Yep.
How close did we get?
Yeah, 1960, it was like 7 seconds.
7 minutes in 1960.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, we're the closest it's ever been right now.
Nice, cool, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway.
It is still 100 seconds to midnight. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we're fucked. I mean, it's...
Yeah, so anyway, so then, here's the thing. Now, just a day later... so the leader of the CPC, this is the Congressional Progressive Caucus, not the Communist Party of China. This is the other CPC, the lame CPC. Representative Pramila Jayapal, basically, she comes out and she's like, now hold on here. Now she's the leader of...
goddamn minute.
She's the leader of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who sent the letter.
Yeah.
And she says, this letter was drafted several months ago, and unfortunately staff didn't vet it. So she's throwing staffers under the bus. And she's like, we didn't know this was going to be released right now. We wholeheartedly remove it. And I take full responsibility, but this was done by staffers without telling us. Meanwhile, it was tweeted by the fucking official CPC account on Twitter. And staffers have since come out, as well as other people, anonymously saying, Pramila Jayapal absolutely knew that this was coming out right now. Everybody knew this was coming out. We don't just, release shit like this without the head of the fucking
Her
caucus.
name is Pramila?
Pramila Jayapal.
Pramila?
Yeah.
J, the letter, period.
No.
Apple?
No, Pramila Jayapal.
Okay. Jayapal.
Yeah, she's
South Asian?
She's Indian. Yeah, South Asian.
Okay. I thought it was Pramila J. Apple.
J. Apple?
Yeah, I thought that's what her name was, dude. I don't know who this person is. Then you said it like I was a fucking moron, okay? Her name could just as easily have been Pramila J. Apple.
Pramila...
And I said, is it J. Apple? And you're like, no, it's J. Apple. Fucking, okay, pal.
Yeah, Pamela J. Apple.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But anyway, so she comes out and all upset, saying that they didn't know this. Then it comes out, but now she also says that actually, GOP has shown opposition, so we want to show a united front with the other Democrats about this. Really, what I think happened is that they got whipped by Democratic leadership for putting this out, probably with, a lot of military intelligence ties. And we're told to get the fuck in line, or we're gonna, drop some oppo on you, and you're gonna be out of the fucking house. Like they did with Madison Cawthorn.
Sure.
You can drop the Madison Cawthorn video in here again if you want.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'll see if I still have the audio, because I remember getting that audio was actually kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So if I still have it, I will throw it in.
Yeah, you can do him doing the monkey
or we can honestly just my ya ya my ya ya oh Madison, your dick's near my face.
Hey, my ya ya.
Oh man.
Oh, excuse me.
I just thought of something, and we can fucking cut this out if you want. So I'm gonna say what popped into my head, and then you can be the arbiter of justice. But
okay.
I feel like I won't. If I ever meet him, I just want to be like, "Hey, man, edited for content." It's fucking insane, man. And he's a piece of shit, so yeah, I feel like it's okay. But
that's up to you if you want to keep that. You're the one who said it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'll probably cut it out.
Yeah,
but
I would not want my voice.
No, man. But yeah, it'll have to go. But
yeah.
Hey, fella.
Hey,
anyone ever tell you?
I like the way you pump.
Despite your
proclivities,
shortcomings.
Yeah.
you manage just fine, boy.
Jesus Christ. And I'll tell you, I did not see that coming.
I gotta tell you, son. It's moments like this where we're reminded that if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything.
You can hump anything.
Oh, good God.
I'm still here breathing, still on the block selling junkies that fiendin'. YTM murder gang stand on it meaning. Come to my hood, nigga, I'm bigger than Ching. Back in hot boys, we feeling like Weezy. I said that cause we getting money and blingin'. Niggas still a touch straight to a demon. Y'all believe in that shit that them niggas be rapping and talking about shit they don't know about. We gon' take bitches' souls out. And you know that we is on the road now. Nigga run up on smoke and get blowed down. Used to get money from hoes and shows now. They booked it so it's time to roll out. With them choppers, you know that we showed out. 24 hours that I got to live, but I'm on the earth still. We going body for real, and we go LOCO for the kills. I'm the young nigga that's trapping, still fuck with the rapping in the streets, give a fuck about a deal. We having white, green, drinking them pills. The laws call me Hank cause I'm king of the hill. They say it's 24 hours that I got to live, but I'm on the earth still. We going body for real, and we go LOCO for the kills. I'm the young nigga that's trapping, still fuck with the rapping in the streets, give a fuck about a deal. We having white, green, drinking them pills. The laws call me Hank cause I'm king of the hill.
Alright, anyway, so yeah, anyway, yeah, so these fucking spineless twats just fucking, and this is supposed to be the left flank of the Democratic Party, the anti-war, all that, I mean,
sure.
It's quite, not to, make light of the war, obviously, I mean, I think we've been on record multiple times on how abhorrent we both find it.
War?
What?
War? Or this war?
Yeah, this war. War in general, yes, but this war especially.
Evan and I are pacifists. We're a couple of pussy whipped pacifists.
Unless it's the working class revolution, and then I say, get to it.
Off with their goddamn heads, buddy.
Yeah, but
I want to keep reminding Evan, and I've said this before. I'm really just repeating it for the show, that when the glorious revolution comes, Evan will absolutely make it through the first wave. But second wave of executions, he's toast. When they start going for the hardline old guard of people that were at the first wave of the revolution, because they have
the Jacobins.
Yeah, I mean they have to go because in order to truly
the counter revolution.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's gone.
When what were they called? Oh fuck, I forget what was the name of that group in the French Revolution after the Jacobins when they killed Robespierre. Shit.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Girondins.
The Girondins, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten it, but now that you say it, yeah. You're absolutely right.
I would have been a Jacobin in my head, lopped off by the Girondins. Yeah. Anyway, so so I take pride in that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I've seen other Dems, off record or anonymously as well. Staffers say that J. Apple 100% knew of the contents of the layer at the time of release. And like I said, they probably got a stern talking to. And really, it's the thing that's scary is that you have official state rags like the Washington Post and New York Times, which over the months have been ramping up stories about how actually a nuclear war might be kind of swag? ? I've seen stories come out, I think it was New York Times or WAPO or whatever, about how actually the solution to global warming might be a small nuclear war. And those are the things that really scare me, is when these rags, which are state mouthpieces, are trying to drum up popular support for a fucking nuclear exchange. Which again, you'll remember, about 6,000 bombs by Russia, 5,400 by the U.S. This would probably end life on Earth. So let's just be
or at the very least it would end any recognizable life. The roaches might make it.
Yeah, but it would also definitely end life in certain parts of the world, which is obviously not what we want.
Oh, there would be barren
you
deserts.
see people just to show it to Putin, they'll send the world into the volcano.
Yeah.
It's you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dangerous one at that.
Yeah, here's the thing too. I don't know. Never mind. Continue.
No, I mean that's mostly what I had to say.
Yeah, it's dire.
It's a bad situation, and we probably should all try to cool off and figure out how to do this. Even if you have to give the person who did wrong some leeway. Hell, the world did it for the U.S. for a while. The U.S. has been threatening nuclear war for 60+ years, and they've gotten everything because of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe it's time we give the kid a fucking lollipop.
Yeah, okay, man, just fucking let's cool off.
Yeah, let's not drop the nukes.
There is a weird, I guess, poetic situation about where the closest we've come to nuclear war was not between two competing ideologies, which I think this really shows just how bullshit the entire Cold War, story was. This isn't two competing ideologies. These are two capitalist states fighting over what amounts to access to oil pipelines and the ability to sell oil to Europe. That's what this war is about.
Yeah.
And that's, when Alex Herbert was on the podcast, we talked about this, the materialist analysis is that these two countries are fighting because they want control of the pipelines. They want control of Ukraine, and because Ukraine helps to sell oil to the rest of fucking Europe.
Right.
And the United States right now is selling so much oil to Europe after blowing up the Nord Stream 2 pipelines, and they're charging 10 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They've marked it up like crazy because this is what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it really shows how bullshit the entire story of the Cold War was. It wasn't between ideologies. It was about hegemony.
Yeah.
Just like war always is. And that's what this war is. Anyway.
Well, no, it's just in my latest CK3 campaign, I'm actually at a real fucky point. So the great thing about that game is that when you're on a roll, when you reach unstoppable levels, the game makes sure that you get stressed. Yeah. And that's why I love that game, because you can't just have a perfect, even my most steamroll campaigns through that game, there are always crises.
Yeah, see, CK2, that's the one thing CK3 does better than CK2, because CK2 there was definitely an event horizon. Right, once you reached it, you weren't crumbling.
Well, so I'm still probably not going to, but I might have to retake some serious swaths. So I started in an 867 start as Earl Alfred of Wessex, and sometimes that goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. You're basically banking on your.
Sometimes it stays, sometimes it goes, boys.
Right, he's one of the best pre-made starting characters in the game, Alfred the Great. Right.
Yeah.
But you have to. There's a few things that have to happen for him to ascend, and one of them is that your older brother has to die, and you have to inherit the petty kingdom of Wessex. And once you have that, you've got a pretty clear shot to taking all of England. But then you got to fight off the Vikings, and with these new patches, the Vikings are super fucking they're super fucking OP. So every 5 years you're getting invaded by an 8,000 strong army, so you gotta whatever. But I'm pretty good at the game at this point. You know, I've been playing for years now since you finally got me to play this stupid game. So I do that. Within Alfred's lifetime, I've formed the Empire of Britannia. And right now in the game it's like 1050, so it's still the Viking Age, and I control everything. Fucking like all of Western and Central Europe, a good chunk of Spain, most of Scandinavia.
Well, only the Viking Age in the game. The real Viking Age had already ended.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm talking about the game though. I just conquered Egypt because I could. Like I'm fucking everywhere. I'm painting the map at this point, and it's not even
the map. Alfred.
It's right, and it's not even 1066. So I had this really great Emperor Raedwald.
Nice. I like that name.
Yeah, he was Raedwald, and he 48-year reign, died at 79. Fucking genius. I've bred genius into my fucking line. I've bred giant into my line. I've bred beautiful into my line. I'm working on Hail, or whatever, the Herculean. My fucking kids are all fucked. Basically what I do is as soon as I have a genius king, I get my genius sons married to other genius women, and then just to make sure they have genius kids, I seduce their wives and fucking put my royal seed in there and just hope they don't find out. So most of my grandkids are also my kids. And then sometimes that's also with like my nieces and daughters. The game's fucked. It's so fucking stupid how it makes you think. Anyway, long story short, so Emperor Raedwald, fucking 48-year reign, glorious, dies natural causes. His son, who's like primed, ready to go, he's a giant, he's beautiful, he's not a genius, he's the 3-candle one, but he's, you know, got the genius gene.
Quick?
Yeah, no, quick is 1, I want to say gifted or intelligent or something is 3, and then genius is the next one. And his son is beautiful and something else. And I'm not kidding, I was emperor for less than a year, boom, assassinated, done. And like I had like a 30 level spy master, everybody whatever, just got killed. And so now I'm like a 10-year-old I hadn't even had time to like get shit in order yet. Cuz usually like I'm pruning the family tree. One guy gets everything, no matter fucking what. And then I hand out titles to get people to like me once he's dead. But boom, dead. And then immediately like half my kingdom is like, yeah, we want independence. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm in the war now, and I have the manpower to do it, but I'm not kidding, because my empire is so big, I have to fight like a war in Egypt, and then also a war in fucking Lotharingia, and then also like a war in...
That's what happens when you blow up, dude.
I know. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do it. But like, and let me just put it to you this way: if I don't, when my boy comes of age, shit's gonna get bad for everybody that ever crossed me. I love that game so much. Anyway, it's like so that, but in real life, and it's not fun because we might all die.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yep.
So I've got another spooky tale. Do you want me to tell, or do you have one?
We can do mine if you want, and then we can sandwich with yours. So mine isn't necessarily a spooky tale. When I was looking for spooky tales, and there were a lot of things that I was thinking about, like, oh, we could talk about Countess Bathory, but then I was like, that actually just might be a fun episode. And then I was like, oh, we could talk about Haitian zombies, but again, like, voodoo might be kind of a cool episode. So instead, as I was looking, I kept finding these lists of, like, 30 spooky facts and, like, events in history that'll really get you. And I found one that I just think is the best/worst of them all. And what is it called? It is called... 30 random creepy facts to deprive somebody of sleep. And so what I want to do, Evan, is I want to go through this list with you, starting at 30, and work our way towards the top. Because, man, some of these are fucking wild, and the ranking of them is nuts, like the order that they're in.
Facts that will make me not sleep.
Yeah, and like, so like gearing up towards like what number 1 is. I don't know. I just thought this was a really funny one, and then we can just sort of talk about whether we think it's properly rated, whether it should be on the list, whether it's spookier than it's rated. All right.
Okay.
So number 30 of the spooky facts that will keep you awake at night.
Okay.
Some female spiders allow their young to eat them alive. Did you know that? Like when they're born, they leave their bodies there as nutrition.
Not spooky.
Right, yeah, it's not very spooky. That's number 30, though. That's low on the list.
0 hauntings.
The number 29.
Okay.
you are more likely than any other day to die on your birthday. The chances that you'll die on your birthday is 6.7%, which is higher than any other day. Yeah, you're probably more likely to be intoxicated or celebrating.
Or... Next. There's a lot of these. We gotta go quick.
I know. 28. Fatal familial insomnia makes it impossible for someone to sleep for months at a time. Ooh.
Criminal. Fucking serious?
Yeah, dude, this list is hilarious.
No.
Number 27. Criminologists estimate that there's a 1 in 3 chance police will never identify your killer if you are murdered in the United States.
I already knew that, and next. I think it's actually even worse now.
Number 26. People with...
I think it's something like over half of all murders aren't solved.
You already said next, so we can't go back.
Next.
Number 26. People with Cotard's syndrome believe that parts of their body are missing, or that they are dying, dead, or don't exist. They may also think that nothing exists. Man.
Okay, that sucks for them. Now, spooky for me.
Yeah, no.
One of those Cotards.
Number 25. During the mummification process. This one cracked me up. Just like, whoever wrote this list is a fucking animal.
Loser.
During the mummification process, I don't know if you knew this, ancient Egyptians remove the brain through one of the nostrils.
Oh, come on, dude. You learned this when you're in, like, 5th grade. Oh, my God.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
Yeah, if I could do it.
Dude, this next one's also fucking wild. Okay. All right, get ready to have your mind blown.
Okay.
Number 24. 250,000 deaths a year are due to medical errors.
Dude, this is fucking awful.
Number 23. Arrhythmic death syndrome is a sudden condition where someone seemingly healthy dies suddenly with no apparent cause of death.
No shit, dude. It's called a fucking aneurysm. Like, let's go. Like, what the fuck?
This is gonna get you.
Okay.
Number 22. Some ants turn into zombies via parasitic fungus, which manipulates their brains.
Fucking yes, I've played a little bit of Last of Us.
Okay, so this one's actually cool though. Number 21. King Charles II drank alcohol mixed with pulverized human skulls.
That's pretty fucked.
That's pretty fucked.
Not really spooky though. Next.
Number 20. And this one actually, this did fuck with me. This is one of the only facts. I don't know if it's spooky, but it had me thinking. Your cell phone is likely at least 10 times dirtier than the average toilet seat.
Knew about this. Next.
Okay.
I can tell that would freak you out, you fucking weirdo. But...
I'm not a germaphobe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're.
I'm not even really a hypochondriac because actually being sick doesn't freak me out. It's I just have
it's
like
when you're not sick, but something isn't quite right, and you've
the thought of being ill is scary to me. Actually being ill, I'm fine with. Yeah. I'm just fucking demented. So number 19, and I actually do wash my hands like an alarming amount. But
well, me too. But it's also because I'm a chemist, so I probably wash my hands like 15, 20 times a day.
Yeah, I just do it because I jerk off a lot, and I'm not trying to be rude to anyone.
Okay, well, all right.
Number 19.
That's spookier than any of these facts.
Speaking of, number 19, alien hand syndrome is a phenomenon in which one hand is not under control of the mind. The person loses control of the hand, and it acts as if it has a mind of its own.
I read about this in a book when I was a kid. Didn't freak me out.
Number 18, horned lizards can defend themselves by squirting blood out of their eyes.
Wow, an animal has
number
a weird
17,
self-defense mechanism.
Number 17, technically, it's not impossible to die from holding in a sneeze. Some injuries from holding in a sneeze can be very serious, such as ruptured brain aneurysms, ruptured throat, and collapsed lungs. So if you have to sneeze, you better let it out. Number 16.
Because I don't hold in sneezes.
Dude, this is another one. This is halfway up the list. This is going to keep you awake at night. More than 80% of our ocean is unmapped and unexplored.
No shit. I knew this since I was a little kid.
Number 15.
This is like compiling books for like 12-year-olds.
Number 15.
With like weird like obsessions and then just telling the facts. Okay. Fuck off.
Number 15. Ducklings might engage in cannibalistic behaviors when they're bored.
Cool. Next.
Can you imagine? You're born, you have all these brothers and sisters.
Okay.
There's nothing to do.
All just like sometimes animals do weird things.
Yeah, no, this list is
like, oh, no shit.
When you die, the last sense to leave your body is the ability to hear.
Oh. Cool, all right.
Number 13, while Ted Bundy was a psychology major. Maybe. While Ted Bundy was a psychology major at the University of Washington, He worked at Seattle's Suicide Hotline Crisis Center.
Yeah, we talked about this in the PTK.
Number 12. The film A Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a real story reported in the LA Times. A boy was terrified to go to sleep, and when he did, he died while screaming about a nightmare.
Yeah.
True story. Number 11. Locked-in syndrome is a condition in which a patient is fully aware but is stuck in a coma-like state.
Yeah, know about that. Thanks.
This one's actually great. This is apparently true. Number 10. 2 Scottish surgeons originally invented the chainsaw to assist in childbirth.
Fuck. All right, that's a decent one.
That's right. We'll get her open with this new. I call it the turbo scalpel. Nurse, fetch me 1,500 cc's of diesel fuel. Stat.
That one's decent. All right.
Number 9. Spiders can survive in space. Now, this is fucking bonkers because no, they can't. I think what it means is that like they can zero gravity. They can be on this.
Centigrade.
Oh man. Number 8. Dogs. Dogs like squeaky toys because they mimic the screams of their prey.
I figured already.
Yeah. Number 7. Did you know that climate change is making spiders bigger?
Cool. Next. Just ask Australia.
Number 6. A haunted radio station from Russia has been broadcasting a dull, monotonous tone for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last 3.5 decades. Every few seconds, it's joined by a second sound, like a ghostly ship sounding its foghorn. That's the foghorn. Remember, no Russian. Number 5. The Turritopsis dornii jellyfish is officially known as the only immortal creature in the world. It lives forever. Not creepy. Very interesting.
Yeah, I knew about that too. Again.
Number 4. There are bodies of over 150 dead hikers on Mount Everest, and they're used as landmarks.
I've seen those pictures.
Yeah, they're freaky. Did you know, this is number 3. This is also interesting, but not spooky necessarily. Did you know when they were filming Poltergeist, the 1982 Poltergeist, they used real corpses?
What?
There were real corpses used as props in that movie.
Oh, wait, I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That actually is kind of eerie.
Pretty creepy, yeah.
Number 2, and yeah, that's only like the last 3. Number 2, and this actually, I don't like the sound of this one either. This one is a little eerie to me, and I have to look this up. Number 2, tooth in the eye surgery. Surgeons put a tooth in a blind person's eye to restore their sight. It was pioneered in the 60s, and it apparently works and is still being done today. I'm going to have to look that up. Bullshit. And then number 1, the spookiest fact on a list of spooky facts that'll keep you up at night.
When you die, you poop your pants.
Basically, the scariest shit on this list. Okay. Crows can recognize and remember human faces.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's the coolest part of them!
Dude. Yeah, no, crows are awesome. So yeah, I just
friend of the pod Ian has befriended a crow.
I do want to know about tooth in the eye, tooth in the eye surgery.
Yeah, no, a friend of the pod Ian, who's been on multiple episodes, he has befriended a crow that goes outside his house. He named him Edgar.
So apparently,
Edgar Allan Crow.
A tooth is removed. A lamina of tissue cut from the tooth is drilled, and the hole is fitted with optics. The lamina is grown in the patient's cheek for a period of months and then is implanted in the eye. It's called osteoodontokeratoprosthesis. Okay. And it helps to, if you have an issue with, it's like a corneal graft. It's like a new cornea made of your tooth. Here you go. So they don't just shove a tooth in there.
Hey, big X, big stepper. Cut off my bitch, she was being too extra. I saw my line screaming how they gon' stretch, but they stay in their place cause this shit'll get hit. No bodies we drop at the better they dress. I be quick to throw hands, but we stay with them wrestles. Glocks, K's, yeah, we with the X. Think I was like 6 when they said I was pressed. Been chillin' and shit, but they know I'm a stepper. 600 block, yeah, you know I'm a ripper. They crossing that line, I've been waiting to stretch it. Send them to God if he play with my necklace. Texas. Ironic, I think that whole name was Alexis. Slamming them peas on the table like Rex. Yo, ho wanna fuck cause she like how I'm dressed. She say when I smell and I shine, it's a bliss. Bet she be on my dick when I ice out my neck. I only hang with the killers, we straight out of Texas. Ate in the Sprite, got it looking like Pepsi. Feds on my ass, tell them boys to come catch it. It's racks on my head, but I bet they won't bitch. Calling my phone like it's bills they collected. Big extra plug, only known for the stepping. Big niggas solid, but stay with a weapon. I'm stiff than a bitch, beat a nigga like Tekken. Calling my phone like it's bills they collected. Big extra plug, only known for the stepping. Big niggas solid, but stay with a weapon. I'm stiff than a bitch, beat a nigga like Tekken. Hey, big X, big stepper. Cut off my bitch, she was being too extra. The ops on my line screaming how they gon' stretch. But they stay in their place cause this shit'll get hit. No bodies we drop at the better they dress. I be quick to throw hands, but we stay with them weapons. Blocks, cage, yeah, we with the X. Think I was like 6 when they said I was pressure. Hey.
Great. All right, so stupid list.
Yeah.
All right. Time for my second story.
Yeah, sure, man.
All right. I call this one "Meet Me in Montauk." A line from the famous movie "Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind."
You know, I've never fucking seen that whole movie, which I know.
Oh, I liked it a lot when I was younger. I watched it many times.
Yeah, a lot of young white guys did. Like a lot of dudes our age thought that movie was the fucking greatest, and so I was.
I didn't think it was the greatest. I thought it was pretty bad, but I still liked it. You know,
I mean, that's how I feel about you. He's not the best friend. He's just my best friend.
I'll kill you.
He's pretty bad, but I like him.
Read more about your stupid tooth list.
Hey,
right,
man,
so,
how about you texted me and said, help me, save me. I haven't written an episode. So that's what you got today.
What? That's not what I said.
No, it isn't what you said.
All right, so I would like to briefly, and you know about this as well. We've talked. I think we've mentioned it on the podcast. The episode about the Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah, we talked about the Montauk. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I would like to briefly talk about Project Rainbow and the Philadelphia experiment.
Okay.
And as I just said, I would like to be brief, as I think this would be a cool topic for us to dive deeply into in future episodes. So this is pretty basic background information. This is the story of a U.S. Navy destroyer ship that experiment during World War II that resulted in the deaths of the crew, many in macabre and unexplainable positions. The United States was, as the legend goes, attempting to discover how to make a naval ship completely undetectable, using Albert Einstein's unified field theory for gravitation and electricity. The goal was to camouflage a ship completely using intense electromagnetic fields. The USS Eldridge was chosen as the fated ship, and was fitted with an array of experimental equipment. The experiment supposedly took place at the Philadelphia Naval Yard, and also out at sea, leading to its name. When at sea, it was allegedly visible by the merchant marine ship the SS Andrew Furuseth. One of the crewmen of said ship is the source of much of the original observations making up the legend. Carlos Allende, aka Carl Allen, wrote a series of letters to Dr. Morris K. Jessup, a man responsible for many early books on UFOs. The letters talk about what Carl Allen witnessed.
I swear to God, there's something fucking like measurably wrong with me. And you obviously have felt like this for a long time. But I just was thinking, like, if we were gonna make like a movie or something about this, how I would want to change that one character's name and make him like a goofball. He's like, my name is Morris J. Ketchup. And just make his last name Ketchup.
Dude, you're fucking out of your mind.
Yep.
So at 0900 hours on July 22nd,
that's
1943.
9 a.m. for the non-military folks here.
Yes. 1943. The power to the generators was fired up. A greenish fog slowly enveloped the ship, concealing it from view. That's the sound of the generators. So So once the fog...
Halloween is it's all about noises. We should just do what's that called when people make sounds to like
ASMR.
ASMR. Yeah, we should just become
the worst
an ASMR.
ASMR ever made. It's just the two of us just slathering all over ourselves. Yeah. All right. So don't freak out the fans.
Summon
don't freak
the
out
worms.
But that was Release the Worms.
No, for the last time, man. I came up with it. I know the name of it.
Well, it is your solo project.
It is.
So once the fog dissipated, the ship had also mysteriously vanished, leaving only still water where it had been anchored moments ago. Not only was the ship radar invisible, but it was nowhere to be seen by the eye. After 15 minutes, the fog returned after the commanding officers ordered the ship to return. Once it again dissipated, however, it was obvious something had gone horribly wrong. The crew on deck were disoriented and nauseous, and therefore removed. A new crew was eventually put on the ship, and equipment was altered to only produce radar invisibility. The second event happened on the 28th of October, on a night very much like this one, in 1943. At 17:15 hours, the final test was performed. The generators were kicked on, and the ship became near invisible except for a faint hue. Suddenly, in a blinding blue flash, the ship disappeared and reappeared miles away in Norfolk, Virginia. It then disappeared again and reappeared at the Philadelphia Naval Yard with the seamen on board violently ill. Some of the crew was missing, never to be seen again. Some had gone mad, but worst of all, some were fused to the metal of the ship's structure. None of the surviving crew were mentally fit to continue serving, and all that was determined was that the ship had disappeared to somewhere else and then returned, never the same. A movie was made about the Philadelphia experiment in the 80s and was seen by a man named Al Bielek, who suddenly had memories come flying back to him of secret military bases in Montauk, New York, with MKUltra and other bizarre experiments. These were memories from a previous lifetime. And he remembers being on the Eldridge during the experiments, recounting many details. But that is a story for a different Left Undead haunting.
Ooh,
spooky.
Spooky podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I like doing these episodes. I do.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should have planned it. I feel like we should have planned it out better. Because I feel like I'm out of shit. I got nothing else to say.
That's fine. We're at an hour anyway, so
I guess that's true. Yeah, man. That's eerie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I maybe I should have just done Countess Bathory.
Yeah.
Or the Marquis de Sade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
Hey, we didn't do it, so that's okay. Anything else you want to talk about? It's
No, it's an hour in. That's about it. I'm done.
Hope you guys have a really spooky Halloween, and
yeah, hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe. If you're going trick or treating, do not, or do if you want to, eat those fentanyl-laced candies that you'll find.
Yep,
that's definitely a real, true story of truth.
But also, what other important disclaimers are there? Oh yes. Remember, folks, that no matter what someone is dressed like, if you're at a Halloween party, no matter how sexy they're dressed or whatever, it does not give you license to be a fucking prick to them.
You can't turn into one of those wolves from Looney Tunes. With the tongue rolling out of the mouth.
Ooga. Your costume does not equal consent. And what else? Be very conscious of the drinks you drink if you're out at bars. And
this is just probably after the Halloween parties, honestly. So
yeah, this is a weird time for people, and they start to get a little fucking crazy on holidays like Halloween. So just be safe.
Humors get out of whack.
Keep an eye on your friends. Be good to each other.
Yeah. So again, this is probably after all the parties, but
well, no, it might be at the parties. Just be cool. You know what I mean? No reason to ruin anyone else's fun.
So what have you been playing with this whole time? Is that a shoe sole?
No, this is the little thing that goes on my desk that my wrists go on when I'm typing. Little cushion thing so I don't get carpal tunnel, which I actually do get So I got this like pad. It helps a
Nice.
little bit. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well. Okay. Yep. Cool. Yep. Okay. Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. Happy Halloween, and
Yep.
we'll see you
Have fun.
guys. I don't know,
Stay safe.
next week or something.
Yep.
Piggy blue, money look like cotton candy. Trap at the spot and it be jammy. Babies in the spot, shoulda had me a nanny. You sleep on the floor, now I'm in the mansion. Walk up in the spot, got bowls in the pantry. Throw a lot of bullets, call me Big Moochie Man. Got rich, now you can't stand me. Hey, I'm the GOAT. Look up to me, I'm the one to give them hope. Yeah, my whole hood dry, had to flood it with 200 can water, got a young. So I'm a young rich, 4,000 on the coat. I'm a odds be down, better check the scope. I'm a little grape and they never tell me no. Yeah, serving all white like the Pope. She wanna with me cause he a no-show. Big Moochie on the young with the mojo. Riding just for some promo. Can't switch, I'm a team, that's a no-no. Riding with a stick like a playing pogo. Been count a lot of money, I ain't worried about no. This trap too slow. Give my young green light, know they on go. And I ran it up, I ain't going broke no more. Piggy blue, money look like cotton candy. Trap at the spot and it be jammy. Babies in the spot, shoulda had me a nanny. You sleep on the floor, now I'm in the mansion. Walk up in the spot, got bowls in the pantry. Throw a lot of bullets, call me Big Moochie Man. Got rich, now you can't stand me. Smoke a big blunts of the tree house. They ain't like coming like Minnie Mouse. Puss in the bum, I'ma get it in and get it out. Never had, now I got a big bank account. Hands in my pan, walk around with a large amount. Pick a chopper on the op, make it walk it out. Nobody used to know me, but I'm popping out. Similar on your block, then they hopping out. I done got rich, ain't that I ain't copping out. Feeling like Booster, make a gon' wipe me down. Graduated out the street, but never had a cap and gown. With me cold blooded here, take it down. We a Big Moochie, how you sound? Serving that pack from the east to the mound. Players going down, break the bank from around. Going extra better for the rap. I been up in the hood selling pounds. Piggy blue, money look like cotton candy. Trap at the spot and it be jammy. Babies in the spot, shoulda had me a nanny. You sleep on the floor, now I'm in the mansion. Walk up in the spot, got bowls in the pantry. Throw a lot of bullets, call me Big Moochie Man. Got rich, now you can't stand